Well, good afternoon. It's Thursday here at Teraflex, and we all know what that means. It's sway bar day. Why do we even have a sway bar on our Jeep if we're going to disconnect it and not have it do its thing? Sway bars have a very valuable use to us. Most cars actually have a sway bar, and it just keeps the vehicle from rolling side to side. When you make a turn, the sway bar fights you. It's like a torsion bar that just keeps the vehicle level. It wants to keep it level no matter what. That keeps us level on the road. We make a fast turn or whatever, it keeps us from losing control. So sway bars have a very important role in our Jeeps. They're worth having. Why do we want to disconnect them? I was down at Easter Jeep Safari way back in the day. I had 4 guys in the back seat. I didn't have a disconnect or anything on the old girl. It was a 90. And I looked in the mirror and I could see all these 4 heads all together just rocking back and forth back there. And I thought, oh, that's a sway bar problem. If you were able to disconnect that sway bar so that now it wasn't fighting you, now the suspension would just roll back and forth and everybody wouldn't be getting their necks broke with that constant rocking back and forth on the trail. To be able to disconnect the sway bar gives us a much better ride, for one. The other thing it does, it also lets our suspension flex out. Because these bars, the factory ones, it's a heavy bar. Your suspension, it will actually hold it from drooping as far as it needs to. When we're trying to flex over boulders and stuff, it's an easy way to see it is on a ramp. You can watch that thing go up and the sway bar will just stop you. Your tire will start lifting on the back. That's all the flex you're going to get. Come back off, disconnect the sway bar, do it again, and it's a noticeable difference on how much your suspension is allowed to flex with the sway bar disconnected.
And there was much rejoicing.
So how do we disconnect our sway bars?
All right, we're ready for a day on the trail. Yeah, let's jump out and disconnect our sway bar.
A sway bar disconnect kit. So basically you have to crawl under your Jeep. Yeah, if it's raining or muddy, that's a little uncomfortable for you. You crawl under there, pull the pin, knock the thing off, pull it back up out of the way, tie your links up out of the way, and then you're good to go. And then you do that process again at the end of the day. So sway bar links, yeah, they totally work, and yeah, they totally bite to use. Another way you could do it is you could just replace your factory sway bar with a trail bar. The trail bar is designed so that your suspension, the weight of the vehicle, will totally overcome that trail bar, and it doesn't affect your flex at all. Downside, now you get on the highway, you don't have this big old bar out there keeping you steady, so you lose some of the stability on the road. So it's just kind of a trade-off. You decide how you're going to use your Jeep. Remember the JK, when it first came out, they came out with an electronic disconnect. It was real cool. You could just touch a button from the inside and your sway bar would be disconnected. It was only on the Rubicons and some of them that's the higher ends, but they had a terrible problem with the connectors on the thing. You get a little water or mud in there. I mean, who would think that the Jeep would have water and mud get involved with it? But anyway, the JLs seem to be doing a lot better with that electronic disconnect. So Teraflex just came out with their new pneumatic sway bar disconnect. The P is silent. It runs on air. So there's no electronic connector problems or anything like that going on there. You use your same compressor that you're using for your ARBs or airing up your tires or whatever. It doesn't take so much pressure to actuate the disconnect in here. So basically what you got is this guy bolts up directly to your factory mount. It's an easy install. There's a rubber bushing at each end, 2 bolts on each side, boom, bolts up, hook up your links, piece of cake. We're going live with the dentist cam on this just because we need to show you some stuff. This guy, there's a bracket that comes off the Jeep that indexes into this, so it just keeps this guy from rocking back and forth. It keeps it into position so that when we're all mounted up, when the sway bar is doing its thing, this remains constant. What's really cool about this one, let's come at this end. Not only does it have that main bar that we were talking about, a full-size sway bar for stability on the road, it's also got this little guy on the inside. See this little guy right there? This shaft is actually gun drilled all the way through, and there's a small shaft that goes from that side clear over to this side. So we took the bolts out of this so we could see this bar move. So I'm turning that, and over on this side, you can see that bar move back and forth. Okay, so what's that all about? All that's telling us, is this thing even working? All that's telling us is that sway bar is still connected to a small trail bar. We just got the best of both worlds. Having a little bit of a sway bar there is actually a big advantage, because you think about when you're going down a side hill. If I can keep a sway bar on me, it'll keep that Jeep from trying to roll as much. If you're all loaded up with tents and stuff on and so forth, you're going to want to use that higher rate hole, because that guy's going to increase the torsion on this thing so that you're going to get less body roll. So it's going to give you a lot more stability just going to the stiffer hole. The sealing and everything they've done on this thing is really tight. This thing really holds. It's really a cool design the way they put that together. It fits the JK, fits the JL, the JT. We've actually got one coming out for the Bronco. That's the new Teraflex pneumatic sway bar, and that's pretty much all I got to say about that.